First, the headlines. The remedial sessions continue to catch up for the lessons the students missed due to the open-ended strike by the Knappist Union, which lasted for more than a month. The recent tremors recorded in the province of Batna in eastern Algeria sent waves of fear and panic among local residents. And France's right-wing parties, led by former President Nicolas Sarkozy, have appeared to edge out the far-right National Front to take first place in local elections. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Dzair News and welcome to this English News edition. First, in our top stories, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and current acting chairman of the African Union, Robert Mugabe, will start Tuesday a 3-day state visit to Algeria at the invitation of President of the Republic, Abdelaziz Bouteflika. The Presidency of the Republic said Monday in a statement the visit to Algeria by President Mugabe will be an opportunity for both sides to examine ways and means to boost cooperation and exchanges in all fields between the two countries, united by exemplary relations of brotherhood and solidarity since Zimbabwe's independence in 1980. The talks between Mugabe presidents and Bouteflika will allow both sides to address a number of international issues of common concern, including those related to peace, security, cooperation, and integration in Africa. Algeria will co-chair with Canada the third session of the working group devoted to the Sahel region and the Global Counter-Terrorism Forum, GCTF, scheduled for Tuesday and Wednesday in Algiers, according to the Minister for Maghreb and African Affairs, Abdelkader Msahel. The upcoming broad-based meeting will mainly focus on the assessment of the security situation in the Sahel and the cooperation areas as part of this forum, said Msahel in a statement to the press after his meeting with the co-chairman of the working group on the Sahel, Mr. David Drake. The third session of the HOC and committee is extremely important given the current context in which it will be held, the minister noted. In other national news, after the opposition parties failed attempts to politically invest in the protests of In Salah residents against the shale gas exploration project, this time deputies of the European Parliament have not wavered to send an invitation to the protesters' representatives in order to hear from them next June, an invitation regarded with much skepticism and mistrust by lots of people here in Algeria. Hence Minaras and the details.
A few days following Bouteflika's letter addressing the residents of Ain Saleh, requesting them to be vigilant and prevail in the greater good, which is a national priority, particularly after opposition parties got involved in the shale gas drilling project in an attempt to politically invest the peaceful protest of Southerners, the thing that has evolved to take a whole new, more dangerous detour after the calls directed towards residents to join Parliament headquarters next June. These calls were met with a categorical refusal by the residents of Ain Saleh, eyeing suspiciously everyone attempting to grant an international dimension to the case.
We are not concerned with the European Parliament, but rather with ours. They should be the one tackling our issue and reconsider this unconventional hydrocarbons law.
Europeans are the ones mostly excited about granting the shale gas drilling project an international dimension, the thing rejected by Algerian authorities, considering it an unnecessary involvement in its internal matters, especially that this sensitive case still makes a big buzz, and any attempt for external involvement will only further complicate things.
In the national education file, the remedial sessions continue to catch up for the lessons the students missed due to the open-ended strike by the Knappist Union, which lasted more than a month. These remedial sessions came despite the offer of technological means by the National Education Ministry, which was completely refuted by both the students and the teachers. Karim Fazakri and the details.
The remedial sessions continue to catch up for the lessons the students missed due to the open-ended strike by the Knappist Union, which lasted more than a month. These remedial sessions came despite the offer of technological means by the Education Ministry, which was completely refused by the students and the teachers. Like today, we studied Arabic for 4 hours from 8 until midday. Yesterday we didn't study, and during this week we're gonna study. They gave us various topics of exam to solve and sometimes exercises. I studied Arabic today from 9 to midday to catch up on some lessons. These were backup courses and not relevant with the program because we can't present the program while the majority of students are absent. It seems that the backup courses given by the Lyceum for senior year students isn't really appreciated by both the students and their parents. While the students want to exploit the holidays for revision, the teachers insist that they should attend to practice and solve some exercises. I have 4 classes, only 34 students attended. I'm against this. Holidays are made for rest and revise what we study. I'm completely against. In the time in which we are supposed to study, we don't. And the time in which you should rest and revise, you must come here to study. This is honestly a waste of time. Indeed, it is a very humble rate of attendance by the students who prefer to stay home and revise instead of coming to school and attending new lessons which their brain cannot assimilate due to their accumulation and due to fatigue and stress as well. The situation of the educational sector in Algeria still grapples with the crisis, the only victims of which are the students.
In economy-related news, Algeria plans to double petrol and diesel output when 3 new oil refineries start production in 2018. This was confirmed by the head of the refining department at the National Hydrocarbons Company Sonatrach in a statement to the national radio. Mohamed Barozwan and the details.
Algeria is currently producing 9 million tons of diesel and 4 million tons of petrol per year. The 3 refineries will produce 9 million tons of diesel and 4 million tons of petrol, according to the senior Sonatrach executive. The new refineries are under construction in Dzair, west of Algiers, and in the southern provinces of Hassim Saoud and Biskra. OPEC member Algeria exports several oil-refined products, but also imports petrol and diesel due to growing domestic demand. Diesel purchases from abroad dropped to 1 million tons in 2014 from 2.8 million tons in the 2 previous years, but figures for petrol imports are not yet available. Imports had increased before last year due to improvement work at the country's main refineries. Algeria's largest refinery of Skikda has produced 18 million tons of various refined products after resuming full operations that followed improvement work, exceeding its target of 16.5 million tons. Refined products output has not declined at Algeria's foreign refineries, and recent disruptions at domestic petrol stations were due to loading and transport problems caused by bad weather conditions. Algeria has been seeking to boost energy output to improve earnings from exports, on which the government relies heavily to implement social programs and fund economic development plans.
Despite receiving firm assurances from experts based on studies and facts, the local residents of the province of Batna in eastern Algeria are living in a state of fear and depression due to the repeated earth tremors occurring in the whole region. Mustafa Azoug has the full story.
The recent tremors recorded in the eastern province of Batna sent waves of fear and panic among the local residents, especially those living in localities near the epicenter of the earthquake, namely Ras Layoun, Ouled Sidi Salman, Ngawes and Ain Azal. After the residents of the area felt the ground shaking, they immediately fled their houses and took shelter in the streets. In order to calm down the situation, experts at the National Meteorological Office issued a detailed statement explaining to the citizens that it is a natural activity and there is nothing to worry about. This seismic activity started in March 15th. We have registered a daily average of 4 to 5 aftershocks, whereas in the previous day a tremor of 4.8 magnitude struck the region. This natural activity will continue until the ground completely releases its power. In light of this natural seismic activity, rumors have started circulating in the area saying that the main cause behind the recent earthquakes is the solar eclipse, in addition to its archaeological features of the area, which is believed to have groundwater. The solar eclipse has nothing to do with this activity, and the same goes to the groundwater. It cannot be the reason for the tremors. Despite the reassurances given by the experts, which are based on facts, the local residents of Batna are living in a state of fear and depression, not knowing what is yet to come.
The Directorate of National Police has launched an awareness-raising campaign under the slogan "Our security is your responsibility" in a bid to curb bus accidents, which are experiencing significant increase. In order to ensure the safety of passengers and road users, the National Police distributed leaflets on road safety to bus drivers. The motorists must respect the highway code and instructions of the police officers on duty to ensure the smooth flow of road traffic. The Police Directorate added, urging drivers to show extreme vigilance so as to curtail ill-fated accidents on the country's roads and highways. Water celebration event attracts yearly hundreds of visitors and those passionate of nature and its secrets. In the mesmerizing regions of Tuja in the province of Bijaya, east of Algeria, coinciding this year with the advent of spring, granting it an impressive touristic dimension. Hints Minaras has the details.
Water celebration event attracts yearly hundreds of visitors and those passionate of nature, and its secrets in the mesmerizing region of Tuja in the province of Bijaya, east of Algeria, coinciding this year with the advent of spring, granting it an impressive touristic dimension. This is my third time here. We come here to enjoy this beautiful place and know more about the water resources in Bijaya. Water museums that tank embracing the discovery and history of this immense water wealth with flowing water sources surrounding it. GMAD, association specialized for the research and drilling of extremely rare historical patrimonies, set up a project to protect this natural reserve discovered by the Romans centuries ago.
In collaboration with the municipality of Tuja, this project highlights the water exploitation in the area, and it was later transformed into a reserve.
Many years, if not many centuries, have passed since this water-wealthy region was discovered. Nevertheless, its nature is still the same. It is now being exploited both touristically and economically as part of environmental tourism development, given Tuja has all what it takes to be a touristic pole by excellence.
In regional news, Tunisia's Prime Minister has sacked 6 police chiefs following last week's terrorist attack on the famous Bardo Museum in the capital Tunis. Premier Habib Assid has noted several security flaws and lapses during an inspection visit to the targeted museum. Karim Fazakri.
Tunisia's Prime Minister has dismissed 6 police commanders, including those in charge of tourist security and intelligence brigade, according to a spokesperson. Habib Assid had noted several security deficiencies during a visit to the museum. He visited the area around the museum last night and saw several deficiencies, so he has decided to fire a number of officials, including the Tunis police chief and the police chief for the Bardo area that includes the museum. Mufdi Msaddi, Assid's communications director, told the AFP news agency. 2 of the gunmen were killed by the security forces, while a third was on the run. But he won't get far, President Beji Caid Essebsi said on Sunday. He also said in an interview with the French media that a monument would be erected in memory of the victims. The Islamic State IS said it carried out the attack on the museum in the capital Tunis, killing 23 people, mostly European tourists, and which has badly shaken the crucial tourism industry in the North African nation, considered the birthplace of the Arab Spring revolts. Authorities say the 2 men blamed for the attack had no clear links to armed groups. Several well-armed groups in neighboring and chaotic Libya have pledged allegiance to ISIL. The attack was the deadliest in Tunisia since the uprising which led to the overthrow of long-serving ruler Zine al-Abidine Ben Ali in 2011.
Elsewhere in troubled Yemen, tensions have escalated in the country as Houthi insurgents have stepped up their advance on the southern territories. The city of Taiz is now under siege, and President Hadi has called on the international community to react in the face of this bleak insurgency situation. Maher Mzahi has this report.
Houthi militants are making rapid advances throughout the southeastern Yemen following a triple suicide attack by the so-called Islamic State on several Shiite mosques last week. Thousands of residents of the city of Taiz have resisted Houthi advances, taking to the streets to protest the insurgents who have surrounded the city. Houthis, a Zaidi Shiite group operating in the Yemen, are accused of being financed by Iran. They are currently one of the de facto ruling factions of the country. Last September, Houthi militia stormed the capital of Sana'a, forcing President Abdel-Rabbu Hadi to flee and take residence in the southern city of Aden. Now, as Houthis continue to approach important state institutions, President Hadi has called on other Gulf countries to intervene with airstrikes. The Houthis are expanding in territory, occupying airports and cities, attacking Aden with planes, detaining whom they please, threatening and gathering their forces. He told Al Jazeera Arabic, "We have expressed to the Gulf Cooperation Council, the United Nations, as well as the international community, that there should be a no-fly zone. The escalating situation in Yemen is far from being resolved, and it does not seem as though a conciliatory resolution will be found anytime soon."
France's right-wing parties led by former President Nicolas Sarkozy have appeared to edge out the far-right National Front to take first place in local elections. A range of polling agencies put a conservative alliance, including Sarkozy's opposition UMP party, in the lead with between 29 and 32% of the votes cast on Sunday. Karim Fazakri again.
Former President Nicolas Sarkozy's conservative UMP party and their allies have won the first round of French local elections, denying Marine Le Pen's far-right National Front FN first place. According to official partial results, the winners secured around 30% of the vote. Sarkozy was predictably pleased. "I call all French who want a change to mobilize for the second round to confirm the movement towards change that we have seen tonight."
La dynamique enregistrée ce soir.
Sarkozy immediately ruled out any alliances between his party and FN candidates in next Sunday's second round, which will decide who controls France's departments, one level in France's complex multi-layer system of local government. The National Front came in second with around 26% and shows yet again how Le Pen's strategy of building a system of local organizations and shutting down the party's overtly racist elements is paying off. Afterwards, Le Pen aimed her remarks at the struggling socialists.
Chef de campagne, meneur d'un clan.
Prime Minister Manuel Valls must now hear the message of voters and have the decency to hand in his resignation to the president due to the weak performance by the Socialist Party. Indeed, François Hollande's socialists fared as expected, coming in third with around 21%, underlining their unpopularity after failed promises to reduce unemployment.
In sports news, and with on-focus European football, FC Barcelona and Real Madrid contested on Sunday night a fixture of much importance in the Spanish Liga. FC Barcelona finally won the hot game by 2-1 and now carry a 4-point lead into the final 10 fixtures of the season. Maher Mzahi tells us more.
It is fair to claim that world football's most anticipated fixture is the Spanish Liga's El Clásico. Barcelona versus Real Madrid is a historic matchup as it pits two of Spain's most successful sides against one another. The fixture took place last night and the stakes were high as ever as table toppers Barcelona held but a slim 1-point lead over Real Madrid. The sold-out Camp Nou was effervescent before the match as 95,000 fans choreographed an impressive all-encompassing tifo. The hosts opened the scoring through Jeremy Mathieu, who scored a header off of a Lionel Messi cross. But Europe's most successful club quickly equalized when Cristiano Ronaldo netted before half to bring the Castilians level. It was the Portuguese superstar's 31st goal of the campaign, moving him one behind Messi. The two sides exchanged blows for much of the second half, and just when it seemed that the match would peter out to a stalemate, Luis Suarez latched onto a hopeless long pass and tucked a shot past Iker Casillas. Barcelona could have added a third and fourth goal late on in the match, but they were unpardonably profligate in front of goal. The Catalans have now extended their lead atop the table to 4 points as both sides prepare for a final sprint of 10 matches to determine who will finish champions in this year's Spanish Liga.
And finally, to wrap it up, we move on to the southern province of El Bayed, where the Amir Association for Handicrafts organized an open fair devoted to showcasing and promoting local culture and by displaying manifold items and traditional outfits made by local craftsmen. Mustafa Azog again.
In an attempt to revive and promote the local culture of the southern province of El Bayed, Amira Association for Handicrafts organized an open fair in Rada Ragas locality with the aim of showcasing creative work of arts, including jewelry and traditional outfits that have been made by the local residents.
Our association decided to take the initiative to promote our local culture by organizing such open fair to showcase our traditional outfits.
A press conference was held during the fair to emphasize on the craftwomen's crucial role to preserve the national heritage, maintaining their traditions, as well as supporting the economy. Amira Association undertakes a policy aimed at supporting craftsmen and provide them with essential equipment and resources. Traditional handicrafts in the province of El Bayed stand as a cultural magazine and an open source for money for the local residents of the province. Amira Association in the province of El Bayed aims at helping and supporting craftsmen and promote their works of art through organizing open fairs and activities.
The end of our English News edition brought to you live from Dzair News channel. Thank you so much for tuning our way. Bye-bye.